Yushu plans that if he can get Susu to marry him, he will escape from the Yishidao League's hands. Little does he know that Rongrong has requested that Wang stop disturbing him. While immersed in his thoughts, his best friend He Weisheng visits him with buns. Weisheng tells him that a supermarket is making sales. He doesn't have money, so he asks his best friend to take him along. But Weisheng refuses. Weisheng also tells him that the Yishidao League has stopped sharing his wanted flyers. While he hopes for the reward from the prince, Mishu arrives. Mishu sees his mood and figures he will want the money, so she attempts to leave, but he stops her. She gives him the box which he thinks contains his money, and she runs. When he opens the box, he realizes it contains a letter that informs him the Tushan fox spirit has taken his money. He promises to revenge by killing all the foxes. At about the same time, Susu arrives with her fox. He knows Susu is from the Tushan fox spirit. He attempts to kill her, but she bribes him with sweets. He realizes that he can use her to know the fox's hideout. So he asks her to take him home, and Susu accepts. Meanwhile, a spirit appears to Yushu's compound. The spirit alerts all other spirits, and they all run outside. Yushu leaves for Susu's home. On his way, he sees his favorite bun shop. He enters, and he is sedated by Xian, who takes him to Wang for the bounty reward. The Yishidao warriors say there are no longer offering rewards for Yushu. Xian refuses to hear this, so he calls out for Wang, with his full name Wang Fugui, knowing that Wang hates when people call him his full name. Reluctantly, Wang rewards him. He loses Yushu and tells him the Yishidao League is no longer interested in him again, and he's free. Meanwhile, Yaya asks her foxes to bring two of the rebelling spirits in for questioning, as she doesn't know why they are flying in daylight. Rongrong visits Wang. He shows Wang their contract from 500 years ago that says that after 500 years they will release Yushu for the Tushan fox. She tells Wang never to bother Yushu again. Meanwhile, foolish Susu remains in front of the bun shop with her fox, Tata. She waits there, hoping Yushu will come out to redeem his promise to visit her family. Her sister Rongrong comes to her. She tells her not to get herself worried and tells her Yushu will soon start living with them. After selling Yushu to Wang, Wang goes to his temple to pray that his gods give past their glory to his son. Yushu goes there and tells him his prayers will never be answered. On the other hand, a spider spirit, Xingtong, as some small spirits to get her the Tushan Fox scared book. Yushu leaves the temple and runs to school, hoping that he won't be late for school. He sees Wang on the way and teases him by calling his full name. He also sees the low-class spirits flying to his school. It turns out that the spirits have taken Susu's sacred book. The sacred book is a book given to a fox that passes its test. A spider spirit, Xingtong, meets the spirits for the books, and the spirits fly to Yushu's school. With the aid of Susu's fox, Tata, she traces the spirit to the school. But Yushu refuses to talk to her. She convinces him with sweets and then explains that she needs her sacred book. He agrees to help her on the condition that she will give him colored candies. Xingtong comes to attack them. She uses her spider rope to tie them together, but Yushu uses his flames to burn it up. Since the lollipop sweet is in Yushu's mouth, Xingtong assumes Yushu got his powers from the sweet and drags it from him. This makes Yushu angry. He forges ahead to her with no restriction that she has to escape with half of her body. The spirit police arrive, giving Yushu and Susu a $5 bounty. Susu wonders why the spirits are after her despite that she doesn't have her book, while Xingtong meets a weird man while trying to escape. Xingtong assumes this man is a pervert and tries to run away from him. This man goes closer to her, helps her recover her body, and even gives her back her lost skills. She asks him if he could get back her spirit skills. Then he must know where her reincarnated lover is. He replies that he can't help her find her lover, but that since she could get back her missing skills, it means her reincarnated lover is in that world. So she could get the fox sacred book and find him. She promises to get the book even if it will cost her her life. The man gives her a plague as a gift. He tells her to use it well. On the other hand, the head of the fox spirit, Yaya, visits Rongrong and asks her what she's doing. Rongrong says that Susu has passed 2 of her matchmaking tests. So, she deserves to be a spirit fox. She says she has given Susu a sacred book. Yaya asks which book Rongrong gave Susu, and Rongrong replies it's that book. Yaya gets angry. She reminds her sister if she knows who the book belongs to, and they talk about her. Rong insists she gave the book to its real owner, Susu, and she is sure Susu is the reincarnated version of the her. Susu insists the book is in the library. They get to the library and meet the librarian who finds the book for them. Some minor spirits come to fight for the book, but Yushu defeats them. Xingtong returns for the book. She uses her stings to throw some poisonous spirits at Yushu. She ties him down and tells him the library will soon collapse. Yushu throws Susu out of the collapsing library to the mercy of the minor spirits asking for the book. Xingtong arrives for the book, but Yaya stops her. Susu begs her big sister to save Yushu, but Yaya is more interested in getting the book from Susu. Susu refuses to release the book. She admits that she is dumber than her siblings. But she also acknowledges that she worked herself and learned charms to become a fox spirit matchmaker, and she won't release the book. Yaya is determined to get the book from Susu. She says that since Susu has those ideas she has learned, she will use that idea in her afterlife as she will kill her. Left with no other choice, Susu calls Yushu, who comes out of the building with some liquid substance in the eyes. Yaya asks the low-class spirit to attack Yushu if they don't want to die. They use all their weapons to attack him, but Yaya uses the liquid substance coming out of his eyes, his tears, to defeat them. Yaya assumes the substance is very important, and as she is about to fight Yushu, his father, Xian, arrives. Xian takes the substance from Yushu's eyes and begs for Yaya's mercy. Yaya requests spring onions so that she will make Yushu cry again. But Wang arrives. Immediately, Xingtong sees Wang. She recognizes him as her lover from his former world. So when Yaya attacks Wang, Xingtong jumps to save him. Since Wang doesn't recognize her, he pushes her away and calls her the devil. Eventually, Xingtong takes away the book and attacks herself on a flying plane. Yushu tries to get the book back to no avail. So he puts onions in his eyes and the substance returns. He throws the blade from the substance at Xingtong and the book tears too. The older man comes to them to explain what's happening. The man takes them all to Yehui Lo, the engagement building. Over there, Xingtong remembers her memories with Wang. As they enter the building, they are all asked to pay the entrance fee of 5 yen. Yushu insists he doesn't have any money to pay, and rather than paying it on his behalf, Yaya asks them to charge Yushu on credit. While Yaya takes the older man to her sister, Rong, Susu also begs Yushu to follow her to repair her sacred book. He refuses to follow her and says he needs to steal the IOU he signed. On their way to the room with Rong, the elder tells Yaya that the thing coming out of Yushu's eyes is the tear void, and no one can control it or its effects. Eventually, Yushu decides to follow Susu to the repair. They both go to the repair room, and they meet a little boy, Xiao Bai, who seems incompetent. Xiao calls his grandpa to repair the book. While the repair goes on, Grandpa explains that the sacred book is important to Yaya because it's legendary and it dates back 800 years. He also says it can't be destroyed by just anything and asks what Yushu used to destroy it. When Yushu tells him it's his tears, they recognize him as someone special and try to take pictures with him. At this point, they find out that Yehui Lo is on fire. Wang remembers his past life and love affair with Xingtong due to the flower Xingtong pours on him. He remembers he was a powerful fighter, the strongest in his family, and he helped his family fight spirits. One day he saw Xingtong by the roof of his house, and she was afraid that he would kill her because she was a spirit. However, he told her the duty of a Taoist wasn't to kill the spirit, and he never actually knew what his duty was. He said he was just a weapon that fought anyone his family wanted. He wakes after his trance, and he notices some flowers have been falling like snow through the window. It's the powder a fox gave Xingtong to pour on him, the powder of recollection. Wang goes to her. He pushes her off it to the ceiling and drags her back. He tells her he recognizes her, and she knows he has a spirit lover in his past life. But he doesn't care about his past life. He tells her how much he had wished to change his name from the creepy Fuagui name, but he couldn't because the name is tied to a spirit. Meanwhile, a spirit tries to convince Yushu to step into the fight with Sweet, and Yushu runs there. Wang concludes that if he can defeat the spirit, he will be able to change his name, so he attempts to kill her. The fox tells Yushu to help fight Wang, but Yushu refuses. He claims it's not his business. But when she tells him that the sweet store is beside the store, Wang destroys it, and Wang has destroyed the only lollipop store. He gets angry. He goes to fight Wang for destroying the lollipop store. Yushu arrives to fight Wang, and Wang throws him away immediately. Seeing the commotion around, the fox takes Susu and Xingtong away. While a fox, the fox spirit shows them a video and tells them Wang is being controlled, and the beast lives on the tree of plight. And he feeds on the fruit, so he follows every lover that makes their pledge on the tree. Xingtong is determined to fight for her love. She leaves the room and goes back to meet Wang. She pours the flowers on him and reminds him that he stopped fighting spirits because of her. However, Wang isn't convinced. He stabs her. The fox spirit around them goes to heal her as Wang recovers his entire memory. He refuses his father's order and gives one of his family's special items to Xingtong. As a result, his father gets angry with him. He asks him if he is being controlled by the lesser spirit and why Wang refuses to use his sword to its maximum because of Xingtong. His father gives him the last chance to redeem his name and integrity and asks him to kill Xingtong. He begs his father. He tells him Xingtong is already injured, and his father should let her go since his father doesn't heed. He refuses to kill her and drops his weapon. He carries her and attempts to leave his father's house with her. All his family attack him with heavenly weapons. He takes all the attacks. Back to the present time, Wang leaves alongside the beast to the Tree of Plight. Susu finds out that the fox spirit that's been with them all the while is her big sister Rongrong. While Yaya fights the beast, Rongrong hits the remembrance hammer on Yushu so he will remember his past too. And it turns out he is the one that saved Wang in his past life. When the Taoists attack Wang, Wang refuses to die. So Yushu, who has both the Taoist and the fox spirit powers, comes to help Wang. He heals him. At first, all the Taoists are amazed at him. When they confirm he is the one, they refuse to back down and they attack him. The Taoists attack him, but he uses his flames, which can weaken every heavy weapon, to defend himself. After saving Wang, Wang asks why he saved him. He tells Wang that it's the same reason he saved the spirits. Wang thinks severally about why he saved Xingtong, but he can't figure it out. Wang's father arrives to stab Yushu. He stabs Yushu with Wang's sword, but Yushu asks Wang's father about his mistress, which he killed, Dongfeng Huizhu. Yushu gives Wang back his sword, which he took from his father. He asks Wang to take them away, but Wang returns the sword. Eventually, Wang, Xingtong, and Yushu leave the Taoist quarters. They know some Taoists are waiting for them outside, but by the time they get there, a spirit, the her that Yaya has always mentioned, has killed them. Yushu doesn't see the her's face in that world before he wakes up. As they wake up, the older man tells Wang he is his grandfather, and it has been decided that he marries Xingtong. He asks Xingtong to use the plague with her to command Wang, but she refuses and asks him to make his choice freely. The repairer returns the sacred book to Yaya. They tell her that they are unable to repair it. She looks at the book and says it was the book Yushu inscribed for her sister back then. The elder comes to meet Yaya. He asks her when exactly they will be able to meet the her. The Tushan sister have used the recovery hammer on Yushu and Susu for a whole day, but they didn't get their memory. However, Yushu escapes. He takes Susu along and tells her he is taking her because her family has been maltreating her. Gullible Susu believes him. While Rongrong was hitting the hammer on the two of them, she told Yushu that they had met about 4 people that had the possibility of being the past Yushu reincarnation. However, the 4 of them were only eating their food, so all the debts they gathered were kept on Yushu's credit, and that is why they took the money the prince sent to him. As they run away, he sees a bun. He takes it and falls captive again. He eats this bun regardless. On the other hand, Rongrong inspires them to recreate the scene at the hospital where the matchmaking spirit came to life, so she can get Susu's memory back. As Yushu is an important aspect of her life, he is in fact the one that wrote the sacred book for her. They throw Yushu to the hospital and ask Li to attack so they can recreate the scene, and the her will appear again. At the hospital, the beast ties Yushu as planned, but they all do not know that they are being played by another demon who wants Yushu for herself. This demon has changed the beast that Yaya is using. The beast they are using now has the spirit of fear and will to escape. The demon plans that if she pushes Yaya to send the beast away, she will bring out the poison in Yushu. She makes the beast swallow Yushu. This beast swallows Yaya and causes commotion. He is even about to injure Wang, but Xingtong sacrifices herself. This forces Yaya to use her demon expelling spell, unaware that she is actually being played. She finds out and tells the foxes to find the demon controlling the environment, but all they found is a decoy of her. As Yaya uses this spell, it brings out another demon stronger than the beast, and Yushu starts attacking everyone, including Susu. This demon explains that she planted the beast that swallowed Wong, and she also poisoned the bun Yushu ate with a stronger demon. So when Yaya uses the expelling spell, it will feed the original demon and bring it out. Her plan works well, but Yaya catches her. She freezes and sets out to fight the demon in Yushu. The demon keeps controlling Yushu, who uses his flames, but Yaya kills it. He also runs to some foxes eating their food. He takes their food in order to find onions and activate his tear void to fight. They all know they can't defeat the tear void, but Yaya has been preparing for the scene. As he does this, Yaya freezes him. As a result, Yushu gets the tear void and breaks the yin water. Yaya takes alcohol. She shows Yushu the inscription on the keg of alcohol and asks him if he remembers he was the one that wrote the inscription. As Yaya drinks, the weather changes, and she prepares to activate one of her tails as she thinks Yushu is too weak and doesn't need all her powers. To activate one tail so she can defeat him. The demon realizes she is losing. She remembers that her goal is to actually defeat the her, so she commands Yushu to attack Susu with his tears. He sends swords at her, but she uses her sweets to block him. Attacking Susu brings back a part of Yushu. His emotions fight against external control, but he can't win. Yaya freezes Yushu and puts Susu's head in his mouth. She activates flames and recreates the hospital scene. They sit there hoping it would work since Rongrong trusts the technique. Susu runs out of the fire while Yushu remains. He remembers Tushan's eldest sister, the Her, who looks just like Susu, and how Yaya dueled with him in their previous life to get revenge for her eldest sister. The devil controls him again and he uses his tears to attack Yaya, but Susu courageously jumps in. As Susu courageously jumps in to take the attack in a fast attempt, Yaya admits that was a speed she couldn't dodge, and Susu could do it. At that point, Yaya admits that Susu isn't the weak younger sister she had always assumed, but the reincarnated version of her late elder sister, the Her, the one they had all been talking about. She asks if it's her and asks why her sister is just showing up after 500 years. She blames herself for not believing in Susu. The demon controlling the scene is happy with herself. She has eventually defeated her. However, Susu takes Yushu's attack, and she is presumed dead. Yaya can't accept that the two versions of her elder sister died at Yushu's hands. In the past life, the Yishidao League compete with the Spirit Fox in a war of death, where one team must die. A day before the duel, the members of Yishidao go to Tushan Spirit Fox's home. The leader isn't around, so Yaya fights against the men with all her strength. When her sister arrives, she commends her courage. However, she tells her to stop fighting like her or imitate her fighting skills. She encourages her that she can do better by using her ice skills, then tells her that if she goes for the duel, she might not return, so Yaya should take over the household and be a courageous leader. With no other choice, their elder sister goes for this war. She knows she might not return. Seeing Susu dead again, Yaya activates her 9 tails, primary form and strongest technique. She dares Yushu to use his teardrop again and see what she will do for him. All the other people in the scene, including Rongrong, see the teardrop gathering, and they know the risk, so they all run away. Meanwhile, the older man tells Rongrong that Susu might be dead and there is a probability she's alive. As Yushu uses his tears to drop on Yaya again, she freezes it with the highest level of mage powers and sends it back to Yushu to kill him. Suddenly, Susu rises and jumps at Yushu. She kisses him. Susu breaks the teardrop and the tree of plight sheds so many leaves that it colors the whole city. The Shi arrives. She tells Yushu he is still a foolish Taoist as she has always called him, and he calls her real name, Hong Hong. The aura changes. Hong Hong is of strong spirit strength. She uses her hands to remove the demon that possessed Yushu. Meanwhile, the southern demon who started the whole commotion is taken away by the same people who sent her. She gets angry at them and asks if they are indeed the strongest in the city. The demon laughs at her, telling her young spirits do not know who Hong Hong is. And in those days when Hong Hong was alive, no one dared to go against her. The boss of the organization arrives to speak to the southern spirit. He tells her he was the one who sowed confusion in the life of Hong Hong and Yushu in those days. And he will do the same to them again, and eventually the two lovers will meet the same fate. Rongrong dresses Susu with the cloth Yaya has always kept for Hong Hong. Susu, shocked about how she is being treated right now, asks Rongrong why she is allowed to wear the cloth Yaya has always kept. Rongrong tells her it is because Yaya kept the cloth for her present personality. They dress and design Susu to look just like Hong Hong, including the bell constantly hanging on Hong Hong's hair. Rongrong tells her to get ready to meet Yushu, and she picks some candies for Yushu. On the other hand, Yushu and the other Taoists are in Tushan's movie room. They are shown a video explaining to them what happened 500 years ago. 500 years ago, the devil sowed confusion between the two lovers, and Yushu volunteers to fight Hong Hong. Before the fight, Yaya goes to Yushu angrily. She asks him what right he has to return to their clan after betraying them. She drinks her alcohol and attempts to fight him. She loses to him at first, but asks for another fight. So they both go for an alcohol competition. They lay on the floor and talked. Yushu tells her he misses the time they were always together, and she asks him why he left them if he misses the time they spent. He replies that it is because he and her sister Hong Hong had a dream, a very beautiful dream.